Was it like a bittersweet moment for you
Absolutely.
all? Were you aware that this is going to be the last chapter? Will there be surprises? Because what I thought as a viewer was probably, you know, it will go into multiple seasons. I'll get to see women in their 50s and, you know, I mean, see their representation.
I'll tell you something.
We all thought.
I still feel, and again, it's a show that can go on till 10 seasons, like Sex and the City.
Wow.
And then have like, you know, the recent one they have. And it's a show. And I honestly feel deep inside that you never say never. So every time you are saying final, it's feeling more final than we actually thought of it
but
as,
when the poster came out, and it said final season 19 December, and oh god, I'm getting goosebumps. No, even that time I was like, oh man, suddenly the writing was on the wall. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course we knew from the word go this season that it's the final season, last season, all of that. We were throwing around these words. Even the last day of shoot, there were tears and all of that. So all of that happened. But somehow when I saw it written in literal writing and it said final season, that's when I was like, that's when it kind of hit me.
The first one to be cast.
Oh wow.
So when I met Ishita and Rongita at this cafe and they had this little presentation to show me, this is a slideshow thing, and I'd read the script. It wasn't really much of a conversation either. Like I heard them, they pitched it to me, and then I read the script and I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it, man. And that was pretty much it. Like I didn't have too many questions about like, are par ye, are par hesitation, are par apprehension. I was like, are kar lenge yaar, dekh hi jayegi, we'll do it. You know, that's literally, that was my attitude towards it. Because most people I think, especially in this industry, would think a lot about playing a queer character. Like a lot of people be like, nope, 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 nope. They want to get typecast and all that. But it just, that wasn't even like a thing for me to consider as a reason to not do it. I was like, oh, this is such a cool opportunity to show like a character and how it should be played and how it should be portrayed as an actual human being and not in like a caricaturish way, which is what most of the industry does with queer characters. Like they're just not represented properly. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I don't know, for some reason, I had a lot of faith in the fact that I could do it to the best of my ability. Bhai, hum to kar lenge. I don't know, I just, you know, sometimes in your life you just have those moments of clarity ki bhai, it'll be good. So I was like, yeah, like I was just like, cool, let's do it. And then one by one, as the other girls started getting locked and stuff, so it all just started to come together. And after they met me, actually they rewrote Umang a lot more to like be more like me, which was also kind of cool because it made me have to not work as hard.
Actually approached me in 2017 with another part.
Oh, okay.
And when I had
Which
read
was that?
the script, I'm not telling you. But when I had read the script, Damini was the only part that I wanted to do. I loved all the 4 parts, but Damini spoke back to me, and especially how, you know, what her politics is, what she is in life, how she stands up for the right reasons, you know, fighting, you know, for the right reasons, her fierceness, all of those things. And it really jumped out of the pages to me. And at that point, they had somebody else in mind, you know, like a star or whatever. And Rongita was extremely open and kind to me at the time. And she's like, I totally understand where you're coming from. And 1st of January 2018, she called me. And I was like, why is she calling me to wish me Happy New Year? You know, I mean, we don't even really know each other. And she said, what are you doing in the first sentence was like, before hi, whatever. He's like, what are you doing the next 3 months? And I said, oh. And I had multiple things and, you know, all of that. And within that conversation, and she's like, oh, that's too sad. I was like, no, why? And she's like, we want you to play Damini. And I was like, oh, hang on. Everything I told you in the last 5 minutes, just give me 1 hour, you know. And I cancelled everything, and, you know, and again, literally, I had to go away to shoot a film in Nepal. You know, I went away for a month, and for makers to let one of the leads to go away for a month and come back is unheard of. Nobody does that. But again, Rongita, you know, because if she wants you and she wants something, she gets it done. You have to love her for that. And she let me go for a month and into this crazy shoot that I went to. And thanks to all of this, and now, you know, listening to all of us and what Kirti was saying, that अगर वही दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम, तो अगर आपके पास आना है तो आप ही के पास आएगा. और अभी a big part of my career, how people see me, strangers call me out as Damini Rizvi Roy. you know, which is the biggest compliment an actor can get. And the kind of love we get, and from like globally, not just the country, the kind of long letters we get, you know, and a lot of people who say that this show has touched their lives. So, you know, I think it's our careers pivoted, but this show is and will always remain a massive part of all our lives.
So I was very, like when I first read the script and I went and met Rongita and Ishita, and I was like, oh my god, this is like Sex and the City, this is India's Sex and the City, and I have to be a part of it. Like I'm a big fan of that show, and I was like, if India is making something like this, I have to be in it, in whatever capacity. And even like these guys were very excited. They were like, yeah, you know, this is what we're planning. And they shared their whole vision, not obviously the whole vision, but whatever they could share at the point. And I loved every bit of it. I soaked in every bit of it. And I knew that I had to kind of, you know, do this one way or another. And yeah, and I think, you know, because up until what struck me most, and the funny thing is that when I met Rongita and I told her this, she was like, oh my god, this is literally what we are going for. So I was like, okay, you know, this is going to work out. Was that up until that point, every time there were stories with women in the center of the story, they were usually about all the stuff all the bad stuff that happens to them, like whether you're talking about femicide or violence or whatever. But, you know, there was never, or at least like never anything mainstream where women were celebrated or just humanized, you know, like just like they can, and female friendship was at the core of it. And and again, so I think that's exactly what resonated with people as well. And that's why we're here four seasons on and 8 years later. And yeah, I think that was the most striking thing for me, and I'm glad that we've kind of retained that. And again, Rongita, Ishita are, because they had that vision and they kind of, you know, made it happen.